Hola, ¿cómo estás? It is 6:14 p.m. on March 8th, 2024, Friday. This is week 10. At this point, I'm pretty much just doing it this way to avoid being on camera so I don't have to worry about how I look. That is the God's honest truth. Fun fact, I looked up the meaning of the number 381 and I found that it's a way of saying I love you. I guess it's like 3 words, 8 letters, 1 meaning. That's what they say. And then there's another like spiritual interpretation of the number, or brought up a thing that said basically the opportunity to make money doing a hobby or a money making hobby, which is like exactly what I've been trying to do forever. So I just thought I thought it was a very incredible coincidence or synchronicity that that's what that number meant. I had a feeling that it meant something, but I didn't know those meanings until today. So I already just called this mission 381 for a different reason, which is because I'm just gonna leave this in. The fact that that's the amount of days that I would have in succession being clean and blah, 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 if I continued throughout the year of 2024, because I started in probably what is that, mid-December. There's like an extra 16 days or something like that on top of 365. So, yeah. So everything's good. I've been going 5 for 3. I've been keeping up with everything. Actually really just feeling, there's been a few moments of just like being, I don't know how to explain. It's like a celebratory kind of vibe. I've had a few sessions, very sporadic and short, but a little bit more frequency. I want to say I've done a meditation every day this week, meaning like the business days, except for maybe 1 or something like that. I've done at least 4 days of meditation. It's been the first thing I do, basically. Or it's not the first thing I do, it's just like I've been doing it around midday, like 10 to noon every day, just to get the sun at its hottest. Amna. Then, I've been making Gmails. I was gonna make them every day, but I've been, it's like I'm happy with the amount I have right now, so I haven't made them every day, but I've been, making them here and there to just kind of add to the amount of storage and Gmails that I have. I got one for Sani Isawa Sad, and I got one for Chiba Dog, which is cool. And I don't know if I ever mentioned it, but I did claim that YouTube at some point, which is cool. Name is inspired. Chiba was just a name, and then Doja Cat, which is literally a name for weed, and then cat. So that's what I did. And then I just did the double G's in honor of Snoop Dogg. So yeah, I've been uploading songs and keeping up with the YouTube queue. I watched some of the EGC TV, but I still haven't finished it. And I actually got $90 cash, which is very, very nice. It's very encouraging to see that and to get that. And I've kind of gotten in the habit of doing a morning walk and a night walk, which is kind of like taking the place of like a morning toke. It's kind of like, have some coffee, go for a walk, get the blood flowing. It's like punctuation, but it makes it easier to go to sleep. I don't know why. It's like I kind of organize my thoughts for the day, and then at night and just kind of like spend whatever extra energy I have, make sure that I have like I punctuate the day and I'm happy with what I've done and have an idea of what's going to be done tomorrow and why I can go to sleep and sleep soundly. So I got my configuration, my desk configuration. I found a desk I was on a walk in the morning time and I found a desk that was on like wheels. I was like, I actually need something like this. I didn't know how I was going to use it, but I just rolled it to the crib, and then Madre and I lifted it into the room, and I configured it like an L desk or whatever in the corner of the room, and I situated it so that the projector is basically as large as it can be on the wall, and oriented in a like similar fashion to how it was before. And I had to keep it connected to the old computer because the HDMI cable port on the laptop is on the different side than the one on the projector, and the way that it would be set up was just going to be very weird. And it makes sense too, because that way I'm making use of the computing power on both, because then that way the laptop doesn't have to do everything basically, so I can stream without issues. And I had to give my wireless stuff back to my brother, mouse and keyboard. So I had to come up with a solution because I only had one. So I needed to control it seems obvious in hindsight, but the solution I came up with was a remote desktop using Chrome, which they improved on, because you don't even have to download a program now. You just like log in to the browser, just like you log into Gmail or YouTube or whatever, and it connects you. You just have like an open session, and it works really well too, because like the PC could be in sleep mode and you can wake it up. So I never have to switch the mouse and keyboard back. It controls really nicely on either the phone, which is the one I use more, or if there's a little bit more intense things I need to control, and I'll just use I'll log in on the laptop. Yeah, it feels really nice. It's like I refer to it like a command center, honestly. That's the term that because it literally feels like a spaceship. It's nice and dark in the room with the red light. I can use the screen that's connected to the desktop as like a window. I can use the projector as a window, or just a big movie thing, and then Bluetooth headphones or whatever. So it just feels like I could be anywhere, and it feels like a command center basically. And then the laptop's like fast, so I could just do damn near anything I want. By the way, it runs StarCraft 2 insane. Like default just right out of the box when you plug it in, I think it comes in. It says like ultra graphics or whatever. It doesn't even. It eats like a Tic Tac, bro. It runs it like super fucking seamless. Even better than Stormgate. But yeah, it's like actually insane. So I did actually take the long weekend. I think it started on Friday. I just didn't do Friday, and I didn't do Saturday, and I didn't do Sunday. And I let myself rest and stream. Um, it was I kind of regretted it at first, because when I got back to things on Monday, I felt like I just didn't feel any benefit. I still felt tired, and I was like out of rhythm, you know? But in hindsight, I feel a lot more refreshed. So I think that I'm gonna kind of, and I looked it up, you know, I think there was like a 2 to 3 weeks a year is like the recommended amount of vacation time for professionals. So, and the reason I looked that up is like it felt very natural to maybe have like a week every quarter for a vacation, and that's probably what it is. But that's what it's going to be. This one was a 4-day weekend basically. Well, actually, they say 4 days for the vacations anyway. So I'm probably gonna count that as a vacation. So no harm, no foul. You know, depending on how things go in the future. And then every quarter, kind of like, you know, having those 2 days every week for rest. Every quarter, there's like a week to kind of reset and recharge the batteries. But because I didn't feel refreshed right away, I took it easy coming back. So my intention is like, just do the bare minimum. Don't go crazy, because, you know, I had just come from, I don't want to say being manic, but like it was a lot being done and planned, and you know, it was like almost like a hydra. You know, I would complete one thing, and that's how it works. You complete one thing, and then it gives you 3 more things you need to do. You know, it's kind of a never-ending cycle. So I didn't want to push myself too much. It's like I need to take some time to enjoy life, you know. So I've been getting lots of sleep. I pushed back Hold My Hand Wholesale to the 10th, which is a good time anyway, because you know, first of all, it's a Monday. Then that's a new moon, which is the time to start new things. And I've been trying to kind of synchronize myself with the moon phases, because something just feels right. It's a natural rhythm to things that so far feels very the way I'm calling it is being in flow. So it feels like I'm in flow. So and then on top of that, that's when the open beta for Stormgate ends. This is the 11th. So it's like I could just take advantage of that last week of streaming possibility to, just take full advantage of that, and then get into the wholesaling thing. So before I could really relax, on Monday, I needed to clarify some things. So I was calling Equifax, Duns & Bradstreet, Florida Tech, Mohella, the Trade Line Supply, all of them, to kind of get an understanding of what the timeline was and make sure that there wasn't a time-sensitive thing that needed to be done in the very near future. So I would have at least until the 10th to do what I want to do, which was stream, which is how I would like to spend my time. You know, I would, if I had all the money in the world already, now it was whatever, right? It's like basically be famous. One, stream to a bunch of people playing the game, make music, toke, etch, and do all that in my command center kind of situation. So this is what I want to be doing regardless. And the way that it's currently set up, the assortment, if you will, is like damn near perfect. So that's what I want to do. So I had to clarify some things and make sure that everything was straight. And I did that, you know. I found that there was like I had time to enroll in the save plan from Ohella. With FIT, there, you know, I had time to enroll. I hadn't missed the due date, and there's still more time. And then, you know, I saw that the time for purchasing the trade line and the reporting date, like I seen that there was still time for that. You know, I didn't need to act right now. And then also I just, you know, I clarified that my business reporting was kind of going as I thought it would. I was just getting some with that. I was kind of making sure that the business credit was actually doing what I thought it would be doing, and understanding how it looks. And I had a really good conversation with someone at Duns & Bradstreet, where they explained to me that I had like a 90-something SBFE number, and that's pretty much it, that's the only thing that's reporting is Spark. So that was like, okay, good. So that's doing what it's supposed to be doing. And then I spoke with Equifax, and they told me that there's only one report, and that the SBFE information is included in all of it. So I didn't get to speak to Experian, which is the only other one that I need to speak with, but they don't have contact information. So I chose to assume, okay, you know, I get it. I understand how this works now. There's multiple different scores, and I see how Spark is showing up, and then we're gonna see how Nav shows up in a minute. So once I did all that, I didn't stream on Monday, but I streamed on. I don't even know if I ended up sleeping for very long and having like weird ass schedule, but I streamed twice this week. Very long, fun streams playing Duelist and playing Stormgate. I finally opened all of my packs on Duelist because I had like 30 something packs that they gifted as in connection with Christmas. And then because I got so close, like I basically, this is crafting, right? So I was able to I don't know what convert duplicates, unusable duplicates, into whatever the currency is, whatever, you know, currency that they use in the game, that you can transfer into cards of your liking. And I already know the kind of deck that I wanted to get because of the you know, my old strategy from years ago. And so I knew what cards I wanted to get already. So I had to do a little bit of crafting. I decided that I would use the race, or the you know, whatever, of the least likely one that I would ever use, and turn some of their rares into usable rares for me. And I ranked up hella fast, like 8 slots. I was in 20 and I went to 12. And there's still seemingly room for growth. Like I have, like, I'm not losing more than I'm winning, but the rate has slowed down because I was whooping people for a hot minute. So, and then I played Stormgate. Stormgate has been the most up and down ass roller coaster ride ever. Sometimes I'm like, bro, I literally hate this game, and then other times it's like I start to understand some stuff, and then I'm like, bro, this is dope as fuck. So right now I feel like I'm like, this is actually insane how good this is. But yeah, it can be very frustrating when you don't know what's going on and all that. But I just have to play and kind of push through it, you know. And I am looking forward to going back to StarCraft 2 when this open beta ends, by the way. So I'm gonna turn here. So like I mentioned, I got some good news about the Mohela thing. Basically, I called them. I was a little bit concerned because I was getting some letters about being overdue, but I knew that there was an onboarding period. I checked about that before, so I knew there wasn't going to be negative reporting. But I was concerned about maybe if once the onboarding period is over, that there would be kind of like a going back in time and reporting old overdue things. But I was able to clarify that basically if you handle it in the grace period, that you will never have negative reporting associated with that grace period. So I just have to enroll in the save plan, which is based on income, and I know I'm going to qualify. On top of that, it stops the interest accrual, which is huge. So the debt won't grow any longer, and lower the score. So, and it's like I can't do it right now because they're switching they're doing something on their end. They're doing some overhaul of their digital system. So I'm going to get an email, and then I'm going to enroll in that plan, and it'll be resolved. So I don't have to worry about that at all. And then, like I mentioned, the biz credit is establishing as we thought. I got news through Nav, through an email from Nav, that Experian got information from Spark, and I have a score with them now. And the other one is Equifax. So like, I have something with DNB, I have something with Experian, and it's positive. And then Equifax is weird as fuck. Equifax sucks, dude. Like, when I called them, they're rude. They're saying that they don't give out a score, and it's like everywhere on the internet says you have a score. So I think they got in some legal trouble, and they're trying to cover their ass, which is just weird. So I don't know what's going on with them, but I assume whatever Nav is using to get a score from them, they'll eventually get one, just like they did for Experian. And Nav hasn't even reported to the those yet. So Spark is slowly starting to slowly start to show, and Nav is going to show here soon, just as we planned. So during that whole clarification process, though, I did have a conversation with Tradeline Supply, and I was spooked because they told me that they only accept cash, and I always anticipated using credit for this transaction. So that was a huge kind of shock. I'm like, oh man, so now I'm gonna have to. Now the good news was I had the money, so it's like I could still do it, but now I have to kind of rig some weird shit to kind of make it comfortable, or yeah, basically like it's just now I need money. Whereas everything was calm before with the amount of money that I had, because I had that buffer of the time. The maturity of debts that so I can kind of spend without really thinking about it because I know the money's coming. I just, so it's like, yeah. So that sent me into a little thing on Monday, and I was like, I went on a long walk and I thought about it, and it occurred to me to use plastic, or plastique, as the gentleman I spoke with today said. Which is an old thing that I learned about a long ass time ago. And it just feels so nice to get that hoop to jump over and then think of a solution and then it actually work. So it was like I had three options of what to do. There's like paying with it, using a cash advance from Spark, which I don't know how that works and it seems scary to me, to pay cash for it and then move funds into Truist and pay things from there, because that's the proper way to do it, because it is business expenses. Like paying the credit cards with it, paying Nav with it, stuff like that. Then the second one was like pay cash and then like quickly get funds somehow, whether it be, plasma, returning things, or EBT, into, getting on top of basically getting up to date with the bills, which is like it's just very stressful. And then not being able to do the whole thing with Truist, which I want to kind of butter them up by having money in my account before I go see them next month about funding. So, and then the third, which is the best option, which is basically use plastique to pay them cash while still using my card, and then Um, then using my heart, and then ACHing out to Truist, and then everything's just calm from there. You know, I just pay things, like I could literally damn near immediately pay the balance on the credit card with what I have, still have a balance in the Truist account, and you know, keep adding money from the EBT slowly, so that to cover the bills by the date that it needs to be covered. Right, which is the best option. So I was able to speak with Tradeline Supply and kind of get it squared away to be like, okay, this is how we have to do it. You have to purchase store credit through a wire transfer or ACH. Here's the information to do that, which is the information you plug into Plastique. Plastique will charge you. You get a receipt. You email that receipt to us so that we can credit your account, store credit, and then you use that store credit to pay for your trade line. And I know exactly what kind of, I know the price of the trade line that I want, and a general idea of how I want it to be. You know, like the price. I think I said that already. The limit, the age, the bank, that kind of thing. So now I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it. Like, I wonder if using Plastique is going to count as a cash advance or not. I have to look into that. So before I was sitting here doing this, I felt pretty confident it wasn't, and it probably isn't, because in that case, what is the purpose of doing it this way? So that's kind of something I'll clarify, but I'm pretty sure, you know, I have it pretty much squared away. I haven't done it yet because the plan was to let the Spark statement post so that I know, so we can keep them separated, if you will. So it's like, okay, here's the balance for that's due on April 3rd. It's $280 or whatever. Pay that. Like, okay, cool. So then it's like, all right, now I can use this other card, or use this, do this other thing on the next statement, and then pay the balance on what's, you know, that's due on April 3rd, relatively soon. But they haven't posted it yet. So I'm gonna wait until that posts and then do that whole process. So, sorry, that was a lot. So, yeah, pretty good there. So all this whole process really has led to me feeling very good. I feel like there's a celebratory nature to things. I've been musically inspired. I've been listening to old songs, and some of the songs I've been listening to has been giving me chills, because it's like the what's it called? Foreshadowing of the things I'm talking about, which I mean, you could say at the time, but you know, you don't really necessarily know for certain. But it's like, I guess the intention was set at the time for things to go a certain way, and then like there's things that happened that I could have never known that correlate and stuff like that. So, you know, the divine orchestration of the whole process is a little bit, it's like, wow, crazy. I have thought about some lost projects though, like there's like one that had like a lighthouse as the cover, and then there was another one, I don't remember the name of it, but it was like a red tint with a picture of me exhaling smoke. And there's another one too that was, I think I was gonna call it Peachy or something like that, or LC. And these are some of the more try-hardy projects that I had too. Like at the time when I like fresh out of high school or whatever, these were more of like me trying really hard. For some reason I lost those. So I need to dig deep and see if I can't find those at some point. Like there's like my old laptop and an like old phone. Like I'm sure there's some of this stuff is in there, but I have to look. So But it's like I caught a lot of the essence of the whole thing, which I really enjoy. I'm really glad that I did, because that stuff cannot be recreated. That it can't be redone. That, you know, you have to do it in the moment, and then you capture the essence of that moment. And I have a tape that coincides with basically every year. There's just like the very, very fresh out of high school portion where I was like, there's like 4 tapes. I don't know how I made 4 tapes so fast, but there's one with planes on the cover, which was like I was like trying to make an album, you know what I mean? And then there was one with my face exhaling smoke, and then there was one with a peach, like, and like someone that's praying, a shadow of someone praying imprinted on the peach, and peach exhaling smoke, and then the one with the lighthouse on it. All those, they're some of the more try-hardy projects, and it would just be a trip. Oh, there's another one too of a chick with, which is one of the ones that I made the beats for. It was like a white chick with like a gradient background and like white stripes on it. So those are some of the more. It's crazy because it's like, why are the ones that I like super tried hard on? Why are those the ones that got lost? But I didn't really get good, if you ask me, until after about like 2018 anyway, or some shit, or 2015. So it was before that. Anyway, it would just be nice to have. I don't know if there's anything good on there. I mean, I remember I remember making the project. I remember having intentions for doing stuff with it, and then I also, it's like sometimes I'm shocked by how good stuff is that I made before. So I would like to listen to it to be like, oh wow, yeah, no, some of this is fire or this is trash, and I could just throw this away. Glad, don't need this. But and that happens all the time. More of the former though, honestly. Like a lot of times I listen to stuff, I'm just like, this ain't that bad, I mean, it's a little cringy, but it's pretty damn good, And in hindsight, it's like I feel I'm separated from it because of all the time that's passed. So it's like I can give it more grace. I don't have to like be like, oh, this is me right now. It's like, no, this is me from years and years and years ago. So I'm much better now, but yeah, I did do that at that time. And I've been listening to what I am tentatively naming Remedy, which is another. It's like the tape for 2024. 2023 is the one. 2022 is Bay. I don't know. 2021. I think that's like Lost. 2020 is How It's Done. 2019, Charity maybe or some shit. It's something like that. It's something like that. There's like a little bit of a lost period in there, which is like it was lost in general. Like it was like I don't have journals, I don't have videos, I don't have anything. Literally, I was just getting drunk all the time and like working, and it was it was fun for me, and it was cool, but like if you really think about it, it's like all that happened was that I worked and I was living in the city, and that's it. Like I worked at Lowe's, I worked as a concierge, and then I'm paying rent, and that was it. So I had my own internal struggles of what I was trying to accomplish, but I really was meandering about doing nothing, just surviving, that was it. But yeah, so I have a rough idea for how Remedy is going to be going so far. Like I have an intro track, and like the first 4 songs are pretty much solidified, and then I have a general idea of the direction, like the tone of the subsections in it, and how I want it to end, which is very similar to the one. But yeah, so I do feel prepared for anything. I have backed up basically all of my files. I have, I am determined to stay clean and all that good stuff. Like if I needed to leave, I know exactly what I would do. It's just buy a cot and go somewhere. It's basically the same things. Go somewhere where there's where I have access to a computer, which in Tampa would be, the library or the PC cafe, which is so amazing. I can't wait to go back there. And then in San Francisco is Noisebridge, and I already know how to maneuver around, so it's like just literally spend most of my time there, stay clean, chill, like take it super easy, and just cot and sell plasma, and that's it. And then like literally, if I needed to get a job, it's like just get a guard card. And it's nice because it's like instead of being like having to, if it ever did happen and not knowing what I was gonna do, it's nice to have like a literal like, don't panic, don't be emotional. This is what you have to do. This is the step-by-step plan. It's like, and having like the funds to be able to execute. Buy a cot, sell plasma the next day, stay in Tampa for a month, go to the gaming place, you could stream from there, and then go to the library to do business, stay clean, keep working on the same stuff, arbitration and business credit and all that good stuff. And then eventually, probably after like a month of being there, go to San Francisco and do the same thing again over there. But it's just easier. It's easier over there. So it's like literally, if somebody takes me from here to Tampa, drop me off over there, which is like, you have to do that, basically. It's like, I understand this whole, like, if people want to kick me out on the same kind of tip that they did before. It's like, just take me to Tampa, drop me off, you don't have to do shit else, and I'll figure it out from there. And it's like, it's the mental calmness of being like, it's like this cold calmness that I have towards it, where it's like, all right, execute X plan. You know what I mean? It's literally, I know exactly where to go. I know exactly what to do. That's going to keep me from wanting to drink or smoke. Right? There was a hint of sloppiness already creeping in last time that I just wasn't ready. Now I'm completely ready. So it probably won't happen, but it's just it's nice to have that in the back of my mind as a just being prepared, basically. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's the concept that's been on my mind lately, kind of connected to the same thing. With the whole situation that's going on, that leads me to even think about this stuff, is because of prior experiences in the past. And I think about it frequently. I don't like that I do. I wish I didn't, but unfortunately these kind of things take place regularly, and I have to try to reason with myself as to why it's the case, because the reason I'm given is always fucked up, and it's always it really is fucked up for me. Like, I get the ass end every time. And it's just like the worst case scenario that you could ever ask for. Being sent off, like being banished because for bad behavior is always the frame that I'm being given, when it could be a billion different things, like you're an adult, go figure it out, or you need to not be here because you're getting on my nerves, or anything else. It's like the worst one. That's the reason that everything, in my view. But I'm coming to the conclusion now where it's like it's basically like the saying. Is that a fence or what's up with you? Yeah, it's basically like what am I saying? Yeah, it's basically like this dog is like right here. God damn. Yeah, basically the saying is like basically it's like, the whole, I think it's Shakespeare. What we call a rose by any name would smell as sweet. So basically, there's many names for the same thing. And what's been going on with me over the course of many years in this unit is special and not special at the same time. And I always come to the conclusion, like, I'm not wrong about certain things, like, but it's all perspective. So, like, two things can be true at the same time. Basically, them just wanting me out, coming up with excuses and lying about what the main reason is. And then, then also me not jiving with them, and like there's there's a bunch of different perspectives that you can kind of apply to it. But at the end of the day, what's happening is similar to stories in the Bible and things of that nature. People have to spend time in the wilderness. People have to go through shit, be tested to become strong. It's just a process that is just things that people have to go through. So, it's something that I feel like it's a good place to land, where it's like, even it's like this, for instance, okay, I'm pursuing dreams, right? And that's clear to the people that love you. But they want you to come back to reality, and they want you to have a good life for yourself. They think it would be better for you if you stopped pursuing your dreams, right? If you quit, hung it up, and did what normal people do, right? They think they're doing you a favor by discouraging you. But you perceive it as like literally the worst thing someone can do to you. You see what I'm saying? And then there's a ton of other, like, you don't want me to succeed, blah, 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 blah. It feels like a lot of different things, but it could just be, you see what I'm saying? So it's like no one has to be, or you could look at it from the biological perspective of like, like when a lion gets to be a certain age, a male lion, they get kicked to the curb before they can challenge the the pride leader. They kick him out because, all right, now go figure your own shit out. You know what I'm saying? Like that happens. So all these things are true, is what I'm trying to say. And it's not something that I should feel self-conscious about, I guess. It's not something that I should be concerned about. So I feel like I have a healthy perspective about that familial situation. It's complex, but it's also simple. Like, it's simple in the fact that, like, if you look at it from an aerial view, right? There's static because of people being different, and it's like literally on a frequency level. You know what I mean? So if you took away the words and you were just looking at the units, if they were just circles on a 2D plane, you know, there's the bright light shining from the one, and then the other ones being not the same, and basically pushing the other one out, or, you know what I'm saying, it not harmonizing, it not finding a rhythm to coexist and being pushed out. And then that is a normal thing that happens with these types of people, that they have to be alone, they have to struggle and be in the wilderness and cook, incubate, if you will, until they are strong enough on their own to whatchamacallit. And I just think about this all the time. I think about different ways of framing the situation, and I'm trying to, well, not basically, because it's not worth it, because at the end of the day, whatever reason you want to attribute to being pushed out, right? Whatever reason I'm given, the reason is not the point. The pushing out is the point. So then my response to that has to be is the important part. And that's the part that I had to learn, where it makes sense from every angle, you know? And I can change the whole by figuring out my one unit, the things that I can control. If I set my house in order, basically, then it will look different from every perspective, is I guess what I'm trying to get at. But a lot of rambling, and I don't like thinking about that again. Like, it's not really worth thinking about. So this weekend, I am going to try to get as much rest and sleep as possible. I'm going to stream some more, and then we get started with the new week on Monday, which is when the new moon kind of kicks in. Kind of kicks in on Sunday, but you know, we'll start doing stuff on Monday. And I need to go to the store. I need to continue monitoring arbitration, making Gmails, sign up for Hold My Hand Wholesaling, work on affiliate marketing, keep refining and, you know, completing items on my list. I also want to plant a sunflower. There's a sunflower waiting to be planted that I'm going to plant on this new moon, on probably the 9th. I need to enroll in the save plan with Mohela. I need to enroll in FIT. I need to actually purchase the trade line. I need to finish the EGC TV tournament and start watching IEM and switch to streaming SC2, which is about to have a new patch coming out that I'm actually very excited about. So one more time, I just kind of want to revisit the whole family thing. The main point that I'm trying to make is that it's not something that you're worth thinking about. You know, there's like, like I said, there's no like the reasons or whatever. It's not important. The important thing is that you stay clean, right? And then handle yourself with grace, basically. And I'm not saying that you haven't done that. Well, you haven't stayed clean, but you've done pretty good every single time. But if it was to happen again, that's why you don't have to be afraid of it. You don't have to be afraid of it. You don't have to think about it. It literally is just like step by step make these moves, which I can go over again. Literally, it's like go to Tampa, buy a cot, sell plasma, hang out at the library, hang out at computer place, stay for a month, go to San Francisco. Same thing, cot, plasma, and then guard card, profit. And that's an explanation of how you handle your sleep, how you handle your entertainment and handling business. And then you don't have to worry about your phone. You don't have to worry about your data because that's all handled. You don't have to worry about money because you're not spending money on anything. And you just use food on food and get money through plasma. And that's why you just don't have to worry about that. So that lets you focus on, because that's the only move there is. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only move there is. It's like if that's the only thing that can go wrong. If you're left alone, then you can just keep moving and keep doing your thing, which is what we prefer. But yeah, I'm really proud of what I've been doing and how things are going. I really look forward to continuing. I'm gonna, do this trade line in the next few days. And we're, cooking. We're really cooking. So one more time, keep monitoring arbitration, making Gmails, Hold My Hand Wholesaling, affiliate marketing, to-do list, Flower, Save Mohella, FIT, Trade Line, finish EGC TV, watch IEM, switch to SE2 Stream, and that new patch. Yeah, a little bit flustered by that whole conversation, but it's whatever, man. Yeah, so this weekend, like literally when I get home from doing this, I'm gonna do my last set and probably just go to sleep. And then as soon as the statement posts for Spark, I'll purchase the store credit. And then we pretty much, while we wait for the funding step in the whole plan, which we intend on doing mid-April, we will use the Hold My Hand Wholesaling as kind of like the work portion of the day, and then the evenings we could do streaming, or just kind of back and forth, So it's like streaming and Hold My Hand Wholesaling is kind of like the work portion, and then affiliate marketing as well, and then some studying here and there until we get, and then obviously arbitration and all that, and then once we get to where we need to go with the funding, we kick it off. We set the bitch ablaze. You know what I mean? Then we're cooking with gas. So a little bit rambly, a little bit long this time, but it is what it is. I am very excited. Very, very, very excited. And the way that I've been handling things is really really impressive. And that break that I took was well deserved. And all of the promises to myself and to my family or whatever that I've been making over the years are going to mature, and they're going to come to fruition, and that destiny will, actually take place. So that's how I feel right now. I've also found some new music. I seem to like randomly Drake and made a remix to a song I liked. I got some new SZA songs. Madison Beer made a song recently. So the ball is still rolling, man. And like I said, next week when I record this, I should have some. We should be rolling with school. We should have the trade line purchased, and maybe some arbitration and wholesaling news. But that's all I have for now. I love you and I appreciate you. I'll see you next week.